Nothing like filming a 20-minute video and it not even recording. So, this is take 2. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the topic. That is the military. Have they lied to you about your job? Okay. And I am going to use myself as an example against what information you guys get when you sign up for any job. And this is just one job, but I'm going to just ease your mind a little bit by comparing my own personal experience with what the Navy puts out and if the job is really what it is. And so I think this is a good test to see if you guys should be worried or not worried. I will do this on my specific job as a corpsman, but if you want me to challenge other jobs and see if it really does match up, we definitely can in the future in another video. Let me know if you want me to do that. But for now, let's roll into my comparison against this. So in order to get any information about Navy rates or jobs, you can look up Navy Cool and whatever the job title is that you're going for. I always recommend them. They have a ton of good information. People don't believe some of the stuff that they read here, so I want to fact check it and tell you whether it is or isn't. So the first paragraph, I'm going to read it and then reflect on it. Hospital corpsmen perform duties as assistants in the prevention and treatment of disease and injury and assist healthcare professionals in providing medical care to naval personnel and their families. They may function as clinical or specialty technicians, medical administrative personnel, and healthcare providers at the medical treatment facilities. They also serve as battlefield corpsmen with the Marine Corps, rendering emergency medical treatment to include initial assessment in a combat environment. Qualified hospital corpsmen may be assigned the responsibility of independent duty aboard ships and submarines, Fleet Marine Force, Special Forces, and CB units, and at isolated duty stations where no medical officer is available. Additionally, they may perform duties as general duty assistant to include dental infection control, dental treatment room management, preventive dentistry, comprehensive dental assisting, and intraoral radiography. So most of this is correct to what I do. I do assist providers. I do help with administrative tasks on a regular basis. I was a specialty technician. I was a farm tech. And I'm now an independent duty corpsman. So I performed independent duties. I have not been in the battlefield, but that's because of the nature of the beast of where we're at as far as wartime goes. But I have rendered emergency aid to somebody before while I'm with the Marine Corps unit. So all of this is correct here, okay? Next line here says that the corpsman rating is a 5-year program. That is true. It's been a 5-year program since I joined in 2008 and even before that. So then it breaks it down if you're really lazy into seeing from what the paragraph says to what they do. What they do reinforces that and says assisting in prevention and treatment of disease and injuries. That's what I do. Caring for sick and injured. That's what I do. We wrap up boo-boos. We give medication if they need it. Prevent disease and injuries. That could be immunizations as well. To give context to that. Again, now it even talks about administering immunization programs. You could be giving shots to people as a corpsman. Rendering emergency medical treatment. I've done that. Instructing sailors and Marines in first aid, self-aid, and personal hygiene procedures. We give classes all the time in boot camp while you're there. Those are corpsmen usually teaching you about that. Marines teaching basic life-saving skills, what we call tactical combat casualty care. So multiplying the impact on the battlefield. Next, it says transporting the sick and injured. That's pretty simple, moving them from one place to the next because obviously they may need to go to higher echelon of care, which happens frequently. Conducting preliminary physical examinations. That happens all the time. Before a doctor is going to get any kind of pass down or information, they're going to expect you to do those examinations or basic things before they get to see the patient. So if you can take that control and start doing more of that as far as physical exams and stuff that your provider allows you to do, you can actually enjoy your job maybe a little bit more. And then it says performing medical administrative supply and accounting procedures. Medical supplies are very expensive, so you will be having to account for them. When I go to Okinawa, part of what I do is gather medical supplies and take back medical supplies and inventory them, and that's part of my job, even as an E6, so to reinforce, my job is this: maintaining treatment records and reports. on our system called Alta, whenever someone sees me as a patient, I'm documenting everything. That's part of the administrative stuff as well, and reporting what people come in for. Maintaining treatment records and reports is very important for people that are getting out, VA disability, all that kind of stuff. So, supervising shipboard and field environment sanitation preventive medicine programs. You're going to make sure the water is clean. You're going to make sure the kitchen area is clean, the galley. You're going to make sure that the porta potties where you poop and pee are far enough away from where you're eating and sleeping. You're going to do supervising shipboard, field environmental sanitation stuff, supervising air, water, food, and habilitation standards. All things that I've done on a regular basis. So this is accurate. Next, it talks about the training. Hospital Corpsman A School is held at Fort Sam Houston. That is correct. That is exactly where it's held at. I did not go there. I went to Great Lakes because the location changed. I will say I did notice here it says 19 weeks. When I went through, they said 16 weeks, so maybe they've modified it. If you are in Corpsman A School and it's 19 weeks, this is accurate then, but I have nothing to reference other than this. So then it says training methods, group and modular instruction. That is accurate in the fact that they break it down for you. There's no expectation for you to learn stuff before you get to any A school at all. Nothing will prepare you until you get there and you understand the context of what they want you to learn. So don't worry about it. They're going to PowerPoint you to death. And here's my little lucky pin here that this is A school summarized. So reading off the slide here, they're saying this. I'm going to read exactly the slide. So back when I was in this duty station, we kind of did it like this, and then that was important. But yeah, that's maybe a better instructor. Actually, I should say that there's people that literally will read from the slides too, which is not what you're supposed to do. But anyway, it's PowerPoint or death by PowerPoint. So you're going to learn pretty much sitting down, just seeing people click through slides all day. And you'll have some hands-on stuff that you talk about. You'll have some labs, maybe, some other stuff like that. But that's later in the curriculum. You kind of start out very basic, and you learn from a book to start out with as well. So now, talking about the pipeline of corpsmen, a lot of people always question this, and that is, after boot camp, after A school, where do you go? Okay, people are always curious about, I want to go green side, I want to go blue side, I want to go mixed side. I want to be everything. I want to be a recon diver, culinary specialist. I get it, man. You're trying to do everything, but this is a very systemic thing. I'm just kidding here, okay? So they say after A school, corpsmen are assigned to MTFs, medical treatment facilities, or operational Navy or Fleet Marine Force units. Most likely, you are going to end up at a clinic, hospital, medical center, something like that first, because a lot of people are not going to end up at these Fleet Marine Force, the FMF green side stuff, first command. And that you can try your best to score as high as possible, show that you're the most competent, but if it's not available, it's not available. If it is, it is. But as far as that goes, I want to talk about, you can also go to C school as well afterwards, which it mentions here. And I went to C school afterwards. I went to pharmacy tech school. So that's a possibility. I made a video why not to go to C school. You can check it out up there. It says corpsmen are assigned to most ships and field medical support units of the FMF. Yes, that's true. That can include CBs, special operations. I mean, medical has to be everywhere. So that is true. We end up really everywhere. Women are not assigned to submarines with the SEALs or some units of the FMF. That is now incorrect and false. So this is out of date. But that is my only qualms with this entire rating card, to give you a rest at ease that this is pretty accurate, because women can serve on subs now. Women can be in the infantry and stuff like that. So is it going to happen? Yes, I do know people that are going to Marine infantry units that are corpsmen. So do not shy away from it. Embrace that suck. Get physically ready. Get mentally ready. I don't want you guys joining thinking you're going to sit at a hospital your entire time and just chill out. Because trust me, the military is going away from that, or trying to. So then it says that they may also go to Field Medical Training Battalion or Field Medical Service School. They mentioned here, same thing, different name, either at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, or Camp Pendleton, California. Yes, that's true. It can happen. I will say it took me until about 9 years to actually go. When I was making these videos and stuff like that, I went during that time period. So definitely, you don't go right away all the time. You will end up going at some time. So just embrace it. But I think it's better to go earlier in your career rather than later. So that's why I'm going to say it's true, but it's very easy to get greenside after your first duty station. It's not that hard. So if you don't get it, don't cry, don't complain. And then it says here, during a 20-year career in the Navy, corpsmen spend about 40% of their time assigned to fleet FMF units and 60% of other types of duty. Environment. Hospital corpsmen work in a variety of environments. Most corpsmen work in indoors in hospitals or in clinics. That's true. I work in a clinic. Like, even though I'm with the Marines, I am not like swinging hammers or doing their jobs. I think you guys think that's the case of what I do every day, but it's not. We are required or mandated to work in a clinic capacity if we can now under what is known as Marine Center Medical Home Port. So we stay in a clinic in the MARPAT green uniform in office space, and Marines come to us when they are sick. We are not in the unit spaces doing medicine and stuff like that. That's based on standards of care. So this is accurate. That's where you'll be. Unless you are on a training exercise, you're deploying or something like that, where you will not be in a clinic, you're going to be practicing medicine outside of the clinic setting. But obviously we are trying to keep the quality of care as high as possible. Others can work on ships, submarines, all air squadrons, all these other places, and duties are service oriented, repetitive, and require good judgment and mental alertness. Yes, some of your tasks are going to be mundane. Mind you, I was a pharmacy tech at one point. That was a repetitive task over and over again. Corps may work alone or with supervision by other health professionals depending on the assignment. Yes, that's correct. So this is why we want you guys to go to shore duty first, because if that's the case, you're going to hopefully gather some skills that you bring to your sea duty with the Marines. And we can trust you. You learn a little bit of good judgment. You have a little maturity under your belt. So typically that's why you're going to see somebody come after their first duty station, but you can come with your first. But it's going to be a test of you understanding your medicine and that you're going to be treating people. If you're by yourself, say you have 20, 50 Marines and you're isolated and there's not a doctor there, and hopefully you have some kind of internet connection if there is some issue where you need to reach somebody. So overall, these rating cards for my job, hospital corpsman, is accurate. It's what I do. This is a daily task. I want to rest assure you that these are my tasks that I do as a corpsman, because I don't want you to think that you're getting into something or being lied to or whatever else, because realistically you're not. I have to applaud whoever wrote these because they are accurate. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want me to go over other jobs, I can break it down, maybe more contextualize. Some of this that I've added on could not be written in this without making it very mundane and hard to read. So just to give you a heads up, obviously when I talked about, going to a greenside unit first or going to a hospital, they're not going to include that, but they have to make some of these cards a little vague because there is such a wide variety of places you could go to. For example, if you're on a ship, your task could be very different for the same job on a carrier versus a destroyer, because the size of the platform that you're serving on is different, which includes different aspects of the jobs that are demanded of you. But as always, guys, if you guys do have questions, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.